Hello everyone. So Zorcha has finally launched its flow builder, and in this video I'm going to share with you how you can use the flow builder to make complex automations. Right now you have been able to create comment to DM automation or story to DM automation and even add a little bit of advanced features to that. So you have been able to send like follow-up messages, collect emails, ask people to follow you before sending them a message, and even send different kinds of messages in their DMs. But now with the flow builder, the possibilities of the kind of automations that you can create are endless. So let's jump right into it and I will show you how you can use it. So I'm on the Zorcha website right now and I click on sign in. Since I'm already signed in, it takes me to this page wherein I will select my workspace. Let's pick this one. Okay, now I am inside Zorcha's dashboard. In the left side, I will click on automations. Then I will click on new automation. And in the bottom, you can see flow builder, build your flow your way. So you have quick automation options over here and you have flow builder over here. Let's get inside flow builder. Let's just name this test and I will create an automation. The moment you create an automation, it will lead you to this screen. Now, first, what we need to do is we need to start with the trigger. What will trigger the automation? This is similar to the different kinds of quick automations that you create. So here we have got 3 triggers live already, and there are a few more triggers that we will be launching in a few weeks. Now, the 3 triggers that we already have are comment to DM. So if someone comments on your post, if someone sends you a message, or if someone replies to your story. Right now, I have this for this workspace, I have connected my Zorcha account to my Instagram account. If instead of that, I would have connected it to my Instagram using Meta Business Suite or a Facebook page, then I would also have an option to reply to an ad. And so basically now on Zorcha, you can even create automations on ads. So for the purpose of this demo, I will just go and click comment to DM automation. Whatever I talk about here, the same thing will be applicable for sends you a DM, replies to a story, and replies to an ad. So let's select the first trigger, which is comment to DM automation. Okay, now the moment I select that, I first need to select which reel or post I want to create this automation for. So I'll select this post. Now I need to add the keyword which will trigger this automation. Let's keep the trigger word as Zorcha. I have added the keyword. If you want the automation to get triggered on any keyword, you can just switch this toggle on. And if you want that if someone sends this post in your DM and that should trigger the automation, then you can simply switch this toggle on which says content shared in DM. Now, whenever someone comments on your post, if you also want to reply to them in the comments, then you can simply switch this toggle on. We pre-fill 3 comment replies for you. You can edit these. You can generate a few through AI. And you can also set a limit to the number of public replies that are being sent from here. Now we have set up the basic things. Whenever someone comments Zorcha on this post or reel, the automation will begin. Now we need to add the first step. Let me tell you briefly about all of these different steps. Okay, so in all of these steps, the first 2 are related to Instagram, what you can send inside of Instagram's DM, what the user will see. So first is sending a DM. There are different kinds of DMs that you can send inside this setting. And the second is collect info. If you want to collect some data from your user and you want to save them in an Excel sheet, then you can use this feature. There are different kinds of data points that you can collect through this. Now these are Instagram focused, which are also visible to the audience. There are 3 features which are not visible to the audience, but you can use these to create complex and interesting automations. Now the first one is condition. You can send a condition on what happens in different scenarios. And there is something called randomize, which will randomly send different messages to different people. And then there is smart delay. So if you want to add a gap, a pause between one message and the second message, you can use the smart delay feature. I will show you each one of these one by one, and I will create a simple flow that could be useful for someone. So now first let's click on send a DM. Now first when I click on send a DM, it automatically gives me this option. Here I'm not being able to select what kind of DM I want to send. In the future when you select send a DM, you will be getting a lot more options. I'll tell you why. So what happens on Instagram is that you cannot send someone a message directly. For you to be able to send them a message, some action must have happened. Now, if someone comments on your post or if someone sends you a message in the story, then that is a trigger. Based on that trigger, you can send them one message. But in the flow builder, if you want to send them multiple messages, if you want to collect information from them, if you want to ask them to follow you before you send them a link, then you need to send more than one messages, right? So for that, you need their consent. The way consent works on Instagram is that the person that you're talking to should have sent you a message. If they send you a message, then you have consent to send them messages, as many messages as you want, in the next 24 hours. In that 24-hour period, if they send you a message again, then your 24-hour window gets refreshed. So you can again send them messages for another 24 hours. That is why in quick automation, when you create a common to DM automation, if you want to use complex features, advanced features like ask for a follow or something like that, then you have to switch on the opening message, which is basically a message that lets you take consent. So here in the first message, we will take our user's consent so that we can build a flow, a complex flow. So let's type a message like thanks for your interest. Just click the button below and I will share the details ASAP. Okay, now we'll add a button and here we will add a post back message. Now this Instagram is a post back message. When you click this, whatever message you type here will become a button. So we type send me the details and add message. Now you can see that this is the message that will go to the user. This is the text that will go and this is the button that will go. The moment they click on this button, Instagram will send this as a message from their account to your account. So it will basically be a message that they send to you. Now once they've sent you a message, now you have consent. Now you can send them a lot of messages in the next 24 hours. Of course, we would like to not keep it spammy. So we will build a flow which is useful for the user and they enjoy the flow actually. They don't feel like, okay, I'm being spammed. So that is just an idea. Even though you can send unlimited messages in 24 hours, you should not. Okay, so now that we've added this step, now let's add the second step. So what happens when a person clicks on send me the details? We add another step and here we will, let's suppose we want to send two different messages to people. Okay, so let's add a condition. Now we will add a condition. When I click on the condition blog, it is giving me two options. So after someone clicks on send me the details, in this condition, if this condition is true, then something will happen. And if this condition is not true, then something else will happen. But what is the condition? So here inside of conditions, I can set any one out of these many conditions. So one is Instagram username, one is email, one is phone number, one is follower count, whether they follow you or not, whether you follow them or not, or whether they have a blue tick. So now let's suppose you want to send a different message to people who have less than 100,000 followers and you want to send a different message to people who have more than 100,000 followers. In this case, I will select the option of followers. Now here you can see that if followers are above 12,000, so let's change this 12,000 to 100,000. Okay, so now you can see we have created a condition. Now here what is happening, I'll just close this so that it's easily visible. Yeah. So now what is happening is that if the person who clicked on send me the details, if their followers are above 100,000, yes, then they will get this flow. And if their followers are less than 100,000, then they will get this flow. Let's suppose if the followers are less than 100,000, you directly want to send them the link. So you click on this, you add send a DM and you add, so now here you have in send a DM, now you can see you have multiple options. In the first one, you only had one option because you could not send follow-up messages. So you had to add a button. Now in this one, you have multiple options. So you can send them a text, you can send them an audio, you can send them a file. So you can send them a PDF file directly. You can send them a media. So you can send them an image or a video. You can send them a card with images. So this one allows you to send only text. This one allows you to send a text with a button or a text with a button and an image or a text with an image. So this one allows you this card-like message sending. And the final one is called card carousel. This is particularly useful. Let's suppose you're creating a get ready with me video. Now in that one, you are showing 4 different pieces of clothing. You can add a card carousel and you can add 4 different product items with their links and their images. For this video, let's go with card with images. Now I've selected this one. Here I will just type the message to be welcome to Zorcha. Now I'll add a button Now here I do not want to add a post back button because I want to share a link that I want them to click and open. I add a link, I add a link title and what link it will open. I've done that. Okay, so this is the message that the user will receive. If I also want to add an image, I can just click here and I can add an image to this flow, to this message as well. Now this is the message that goes to people who have less than 100,000 followers. For people who have more than 100,000 followers, let's set up a different message. Instead of a message, let us first collect their phone number so that our sales team can call them and they can talk to them and maybe convince them for a brand collab, or maybe they can talk to them and like try to understand what they're looking for or collect any kind of information. If you want to talk to them, you click on collect info. Now inside of collect info, first you can type your question, but your question is related to your property. So let's first look at the properties. Now we have 4 properties here. One is you can collect their email, you can collect their phone number, you can collect their gender, you can collect their age group. Now all of these are useful for different kinds of people. So maybe if you run like a newsletter, you can collect email. If you have like a sales team that does sales on calling, then you can collect their phone number. If you're a lifestyle brand, you might want to collect their gender so that they can you can share them. If it's a women, you can share them your women related category products. If it's a man, you can send that category of products. If it's and then in age group, it's useful for people who are maybe learning like an edtech company. Now if you understand their age group, then you will know what kind of course will be relevant for them, and then you can recommend them those courses. These are just examples. You will understand your product, your business, your page the best. You can understand which property is most useful for you and use it according to that. For the purpose of this demo, let's go ahead with phone number. Now I will just simply type a message to go along with it, which will say, please share your phone number and an expert from our team will guide you. Okay. So now, just move this a little bit here. So now if the person has more than 100,000 followers, then this message will go to them. Now, if the person does not respond to this message in the next 2 hours, then you can send them a different message. If they give you the phone number, then you can send them a different message. Here for the first one, you can change this timing as well. So if you do not want them to wait for 2 hours, you can just send after 1 hour. If you want 5 hours, then you can set 5 hours. So you can change this. But here there is a small problem that people a lot of times face. When you ask people for a lot of details, then sometimes they just don't want to share it and they just ignore it and they leave. So in that scenario, you do not even get the opportunity to send them a link. For that, we have also added this option called allow skipping. Now, if you switch this on, then the person will get this message. They either have the option to give you their phone number, or they can click on skip. If they click on skip, then again they get the same message that they would have gotten after they had given you your phone number. So now once you've added allow skipping, what will happen is that if they see this message and they do nothing, they will get a different message after 5 hours. And if they do something, whether they skip it or whether they give you your phone number, there will be a different step. So here we will add a simple message, which will again be the same message that we sent to the other user. Welcome to Zorcha. We add a button, Zorcha and Zorcha.com. And if they did not respond, we can send them a different message saying, hey, it seems you do not like people calling you. Here's the link anyways. If you still want our team to get in touch, feel free to share your number and we'll connect ASAP. Okay, and then you again add the same link. Great. So now we have added a message for people who do not respond to when you ask them for your phone number. So this is a Simple, a very basic flow that we've created. When someone comments on the video, they'll first get a message, they'll give you consent, then you can check what their follower count is. Based on their follower count, you can decide whether you want to send them a link right away or you want to ask for their phone number. If they give you their phone number, you send them this message. If they don't give you their phone number, you can send them this message. Now, this is a very simple flow. Of course, you can make this flow as complex as you want. So I'll quickly show you a few different options. So inside this particular button, add a step, send a DM. I have already showed you all the options and I've explained what these do. I'll delete this one, add a different step. Inside collect info, I've already showed you what all of these do. Oh, sorry, my bad. In this one, I missed a message. I missed one part. So inside of collect info, when you ask them for their phone number, and instead of their phone number, they send you a random text saying hello. Now, our software will check whether it's a valid phone number. If it is not, then we will send them a retry message. It doesn't look right, try again. You can change this message, of course. Hey, this does not seem like a phone number. Please share a valid number and we'll be in touch ASAP. Okay, if it's an email, we will check whether it's a valid email and likewise. So this is another thing that you can do inside of collect info. Now let me delete this one again. Now let me show you condition. So I'll just quickly explain what each of these conditions do. So Instagram username will match the person with a particular username. The email will check. So if you have collected your users' emails, then this condition will check whether you already have a user's email or not. So if at this point you add a collect info thing, then if you already have their email, then it will not make sense for you to ask for their email again. Or if you already have their phone number, then it won't make sense for you to ask for their phone number again. So what you can do is you can add another condition wherein you check whether you already have their phone number or not. If you already have it, then you send them a different message. If you don't have it, then you send them a different message. For example, you can check whether you have someone's email or not. And then in the message, if you already have their email, you can ask for their phone number. But if you do not have their email, you can first ask for their email. So this can be useful that way. Let's check another condition. Phone. This is again phone number, whether it is present or it is not present. The next condition is followers. I've already shown you this one. Oh, let me show you from here only. Follows you or not. So this is basically like an ask for a follow feature. If they follow you, you can send them a different message. If they don't follow you, you can send them a different message. You follow them or not. Again, the reverse of ask for a follow feature. If you follow them, you can send them a different message. If you do not follow them, you can send them a different message. And blue tick. If they have a blue tick, send them a different message. If they don't have a blue tick, you can send them a different message. Now here, I've added multiple conditions. So now I can do any and all as well. So now here, in this particular scenario, if I've added 4 conditions, matches, and if I switch on all, then if the user matches all of these conditions, only then these will happen. But if I switch this to any, then if any of these happens, then the trigger will continue to yes or no. So this can also be useful if you want to check for more than one conditions. So this was the condition block. After that, we have randomize. So let's suppose if you also do content on YouTube, you know that YouTube has this thumbnail comparison feature where you can upload 2 or 3 thumbnails and like check which one performs best, and whichever one performs best, you can eventually make that your best thumbnail. Now let's suppose Diwali is coming up and you have created 3 different creatives to offer a discount sale. Now one of those designs you will perform better than the others, but you don't know which one. So what you can do is you can add a randomizer, and it's 50-50 here. You can add 2 different images in these 2 and along with the links, and eventually you can see which link gets more clicks, which will tell you that this creative is performing better than the other, and then you can simply remove the randomize and just add the image that is performing well. So you can run this test for 3 days. After 3 days, you can open this automation, edit it and update it. And by the way, you can do this for more than 2 options as well. So you can add a variation. Now you can do something like, I don't know, 30, and another 30. So you can like almost 30. So yeah, you can do it for 3 different images also. You can keep adding and do it for as many experiments as you want. So that is the randomize feature. And finally, we have a smart delay. So this will basically add a delay after a message. So if you send them this message, if you want to send them another follow-up message after, let's say, 4 hours, you can do that, and then you can add a message and you can send them a message here. So this is the follow-up feature, which is also called smart delay. Okay, I'll have to delete this one. Yeah. So these are the features that are already live on Flow Builder. You can use these to create multiple permutations and combinations of automations. Honestly, with the features that we already have live, sky is the limit for what you can create with this. Eventually, very soon, we will be launching a lot more features. So we will be adding meta conversion events soon. We will be adding a HTTP request button, which will allow you to connect these automations to, let's say, Zapier or like another tool, maybe your CRM, and you can send the data that you collect here back to your CRM instantly. Before I end the Flow Builder demo, I'll just quickly share one last thing. Whatever data you collect from here, that data will get saved on the left side in the audience section. So when you come to the audience section, if you have collected any of these users' phone numbers, emails, or any other data, it will all be saved here. And you can simply click on export audience, and all of this will get downloaded as an Excel sheet, and you can upload that Excel sheet in your CRM. You can use those emails to run lookalike ads. There's a lot of things that you can do using this. I hope this feature is really useful for you, and we will be coming up with more features. If you want more updates on Zorcha, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.